Hi guys, Guillermo from Guglatech. Today we will talk about the new KTM 1290 Adventure. Meaning we'll talk about the differences in the two models where it will impact our production. I know it's lame, but that's what we are, a company producing parts to save your buttocks, to protect your bike, to protect your trips and your adventures. Let's start from the obvious. The huge monster tank and the fuel and the air filter. What you had in the old 1290 and the 1190 and the 1090 and the 1050, for the market that really had a 1050, you had the main tank, the monster, on top of the airbox. So whenever you wanted to change the filter, this is the old model, you had to remove the tank first. This huge beast. Difference is the new 1290 has this tank separated in three parts. The first one is the main part is on the top of it, where you have the locking system and the fuel hole, connected then to two halves that comes to the side of the tank, and it's in three parts. So you don't have this one anymore. Plus, it's not sitting on top of the airbox like in the past, so you don't have to remove the monster full of petrol to access the air filter anymore. This is the new airbox. They copied, allow me to be blunt, the system that is already running on the 1200 B&W liquid cooled since 2013. The access to the filter, simply removing a plastic part. With everything sitting on a bike, you just move two plastic parts and you access directly the filter. Let's talk a bit about the old version. So, airbox, this is the grandpa, the first version. You had one cover covering the whole filter. The clean part where you had the throttle, the velocity stacks, the filter, and the main axis. To remove the filter, you had to open this arch and take off the filter. You all remember the nightmare about this system. First of all, the whole lid was leaking. There was dust coming inside. It's also critical to close. Dust was coming inside. This part would somehow deform because of heat. You would have dust coming from here, from the low, from below, because there was no closed ring where the filter would sit and stay in place, sealing off the clean part. Then they changed it. They mounted here a stroud to reinforce the part. They kept the same cover and they inserted the sledge system. No more the arch, but two sledges. One part would keep the filter into position, and the other part would slide into position and push the filter toward the closed rim, creating a labyrinth. Perfect. The second version, starting from 2000, I believe 15, yeah, was perfect. Sealing off perfectly, no problem. Just a bit of grease everywhere. You had your closed system. What was the issue? Again, every time you wanted to change, to check the air filter, you had to take everything off the bike. The plastics, the tank, the monster, everything had to come off the bike. Yeah, it's not ideal since it's an enduro bike, something which supposedly should take you around the world and back. You must control your air filter. So they moved to this version, where you have access. Now you have two separate parts, one for the filter, one for the velocity stacks and the rest of the airbox. So the clean part will never need to be able to be open to change the air filter. What I don't like? Well, what I don't like is this. Sure, it's sealed from fabric, so it will come to you totally closed. You have a labyrinth seal of rubber here inside. Yeah, but why the play? I don't know. Plastic deformation, the mold, I don't know. So my recommendation, should you wish to use this bike for also off-roading, I would take this part off, fill up with grease, and close it again in your garage to make sure that the grease will help you sealing the clean part of the airbox, and forget forever that some dust may reach your bike in the future. So, back to the filter. Two sledges. The first one will push the filter, the filter frame toward, will help the filter frame to push the filter against the plastic. Here we have a labyrinth, like in the newest version of this airbox. You remove the air filter, and here you go. Now the air filter, let's move this aside. if you remember, we were talking about how to create the perfect, damn, it doesn't want to stay in place. The perfect air filter according to the situations. We discussed this while we were describing why we decided to create the air filter for the KTM 619701 with a different design rather than following the flat surface design of the original KTM filter. And we described the fact that when you do off-roading, the best system would be to have the dust hitting the filter from the bottom and then following down on the in the airbox. KTM 990, some heavy off-road, big off-road, or for heavy trucks and heavy off-road, you have vertical filters. So the dust hits and the rims will allow the heavy dust to sit at the bottom of the airbox. Well, it seems that they listen to us. Now the filter is different than the old one. I have to collect it, okay. Not in the size, they are twins, perfect twins. Not in the flow, there is the same amount of paper and surface, just in the direction of the rails. Now it's vertical, before it was horizontal. They even talk about this in the marketing brochure for the KTM, claiming that now all the dust can fall off the filter, not clogging it. True, but everybody knows that you don't use paper for dust. You use paper for a street ride. True, so dust, no good. But nonetheless, they listen to us. Thank you guys for following us. It's a pleasure, it's an honor. So what's up now? That in the end, we were thinking that it doesn't change anything for our filters. Our filter must be horizontal for a structural reason. You want the filter to be uncollapsible. This makes the filter strong. If it were the other way around, it would twist too much, so it's no good. With this kind of technology, you must have the rails following the smallest size of the filter. It's just the way you design a filter. For us, as you can see also in the picture up in the screen, on the screen, there is no difference how much dust it reaches the filter. We will continue to deliver power and filtered air. However, scent will reach the airbox. So thank you. With this, you can check it more easy. You can clean it faster, but nonetheless, our technology is superior. Again, although the design might look old. For our kind of filter, our matrix, it doesn't make any difference if we are following this kind of rails or this kind of horizontal rails. So, again, let's mount the filter back. As always, grease. Even if you decide to ride the filter on the street, we recommend you to put grease where the filter is sitting on the airbox to make sure that everything is airtight and dust tight. Does it exist? I don't know. So, let's mount the filter back. Our filter. First frame, the one that holds the filter into position. Grease on top, oil it, because you are riding a KTM, so we know that you will run some adventures, and we want you to protect your bike. Oiling doesn't influence the power, it just makes the filter much, much better, and you can wash it with the one we recommend, with simple dishwashing soap and clear water. Again, here there is a channel, let's call it this, so a labyrinth. Put grease where the filter will sit, lithium grease, Teflon grease, do not use molybdenum grease, it's just perfect for the application. There is also sealing grease, saline grease, or Vaseline grease. There are, plenty of applications plenty of greases you can use. Oops, sorry. Remember, nothing comes off the bike. It's just this, the plastic on top, this small door, 2 screws, and then the filter access is easy. We put the filter in place. You don't have this, so let me not cheat. Yes, we can. Now, the pushing frame, the slide, make sure that it's closing at the bottom, so make sure that it's exactly following the main frame because it tends to slide somewhere else, so just check where it's going and then it's perfect. At this point, you simply push both sides into position. It will go click, click on 2 sides, done. Filter is, perfect in position. Again, doesn't want to close. Now, with our technology, you have protected your bike against everything. Any kind of dust, whatever kind of contamination you will encounter, whatever kind of fine dust, even the red dust from South Africa or Australia, there is nothing that can penetrate our filter once it's oiled. and you can serve it much faster and easier with this new design, which we like, honestly. Other differences in the KTM 1290. You know all that we started with creating the most effective and protective fuel filters in the world. So we are very concerned whenever there is a new application about fuel pumps, fuel injection, fuel tanks. This is going to be difficult because we already have some hints on how it works, and we don't like it much. But again, we will find a solution. We work for you. What happened to the fuel pump? Well, this was the old fuel pump sitting in the 1290, 1090, 1190, 990, not with this one, 990 Adventure, Duke, Supermoto, all had the same system. Here a hidden filter, here the strainer, fuel pump, and all the cables. They have changed. Now they have moved to a 790 system, 790, 890. We already opened up this pump for you. We already showed you where are the problems. We already told you what to protect and why you should do it. Word to the wise. Once you get the bike, check if inside you still have the white dust. Yeah, I know they said that they fixed it. We don't know. They said the same in the 1190, it was full of white dust. The 1290, it was still with white dust. 1090, white dust. 790, full of white dust. 890, we don't know. But check your 1290s. It's just a very simple work. You take out the pump and you check if there is white dust anywhere. We showed you how to open it up without breaking anything, without having to change anything. Follow our hints, follow our videos. We are there for you. What do you have here? Old version. The strainer might clog, might not be able to withstand more than 10,000 kilometers, maybe 5,000 kilometers, but the fuel pump was protected. You would never risk a fuel pump eating dirt through this strainer or the main filter being clogged by it. So this system was overprotective. Yes, oh sorry, this is from the Supermoto, it's not the 1290, but again, the same technology, you know, just this is the fuel level for the Supermoto and Super Duke, and in the 1290 there is another floating system. But the pump is the same, I mean, you know, the concept. So this would never clog, this would never allow any dirt to go through the pump, protecting the pump. What we have here, the strainer, as you've seen on our videos, is the one coming from the 690 and 701. No, it's a very thin film, it's very delicate, it won't protect much, and it will pierce very easily. So this, although the fuel pump is much stronger, although the concept is newer, the pump is in danger. Then you have here the hidden main filter, which you cannot change, but you can wash it. We showed you how. So once you protect this, and there is already protection, it's our Mazinga that covers the whole fuel pump. So there is nothing that can attack your fuel pump. Then you're safe. We will come up with the next fuel filtration system for sure. It's our business. But as for now, this strainer will protect your pump from any kind of danger, any kind of contamination that can damage either the strainer or the main filter or the fuel pump. With that, you're already safe. So as always, word to the wise, protect your adventure, protect your passion, protect your ride. We are here for you. We are Guglatech. We are obsessed with protection. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the way we explained what was in the past and what came from the future. What is the future now of KTM big bore engines. And please follow us, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up if you liked the video. And don't forget, we're always here to protect you, and there will always be news and new products and new tips for you and your adventure. Thank you so much. This is Guglatech.